And they say the two best words in sports, Game 7. And I got to say, this turned into the Julian Strawther series. He came to play. He is the reason. He dropped 15 points tonight. Definitely helped the Denver Nuggets get over the edge. I mean, before that, everybody was saying Jokic has no help. Jokic has no help. Well, the help came today. I mean, Julian Strawther was 4 from 8 from the field and 3 of 4 from 3. And those threes were huge. That's what they needed from him. And I mean, call me a casual. I don't know this guy from a can of paint. Never seen him in my life. Can't even lie. And I mean, last game at the end in the post-game interview, they talked to David Alleman. They said, you played Jokic the entire fourth quarter. So they said, yo, what are you going to do about this? And he said, well, I felt good about it. I talked to Jokic. He said he wanted to play. And I'm like, you idiot. Of course Jokic wanted to play. No player on earth is going to say, take me out, coach. But he made the adjustment. And so you got to give him a little golf clap for that. He made the adjustment. He put in Julian Strawther. I mean, it's one guy off their bench that we haven't seen before, but it's one guy more than we've seen throughout the entire playoffs for the Nuggets. So he definitely saw that the results weren't indicative to what he wanted. The results weren't coming for the Nuggets. So he decided, hey, let me try something new. Kind of like how JJ Redick tried in Game 5 when the Lakers' backs were against the wall. The problem is when the Lakers, looked in the bottom of that bag for, those good fries, they picked out Maxi Kleber. And we all know how that ended. But the Nuggets, they did the same thing and they got Julian Strawther, and that's 15 points off the bench that they didn't have before. Everybody knows, though, basketball is a game of momentum, and the biggest momentum swing was SGA picking up that fourth foul in the first half. There was like a minute and a half left in the second quarter. This guy gets stripped by Jokic, I think it was, and then just grabs him out of frustration like an idiot, like a child. I mean, everybody's talking about the OKC and they're not experienced enough, blah, blah, blah. I mean, a lot of athletes do some boneheaded things, so I won't really just chalk it up to inexperience, but that was a stupid move, SGA. He was cooking. The Thunder were up by 12 before that happened. They took him out the game because you don't want to risk him getting a fifth before halftime, and then that lead went down to 0. Nuggets basically tied the game, and then Lou Dort hit a buzzer beater at the end to just bring it back up to a 3-point lead going into halftime, but that was the momentum swing. And then after that, the Nuggets came in and just kept pounding away. And of course, people want to say that those fouls might not have mattered, but they definitely mattered. First of all, in the third quarter, SGA played for the first couple minutes and then he sat for a lot of it. That would not have happened if he wasn't in if he didn't have 4 fouls already. And I mean, foul trouble was up and down the entire roster of the Oklahoma City Thunder coming to the end of this game. I mean, you had SGA with 4 fouls. You had Jalen Williams with 4 fouls. You had Hartenstein with 4 fouls. You had Caruso by the end of the game with 5 fouls. And this is a team that is really aggressive and they hang their hats on their aggressive, suffocating defense. You can't do that if almost the entire starting roster is in foul trouble. And I mean, kudos to Jokic, kudos to the Denver Nuggets. I mean, getting Hartenstein in foul trouble and SGA in foul trouble, you basically had them playing with one hand behind their back for the rest of the game. And then Jalen Williams, who is another guy that the Thunder like to use on Jokic in that revolving door of centers. They use Hartenstein, they use Jalen Williams, and then to a lesser extent, because of the weight difference, they use Chet Holmgren. But once you have Jalen Williams and Hartenstein trying to, be careful with their defense because they're in foul trouble, man, it's so much easier for Jokic and the rest of the team to just go in there aggressively, barbecue chicken, as Shaquille O'Neal likes to say. And my God, Jalen Williams, all-star this year, playing incredible basketball for the majority of the year, majority of the playoffs. But this game was a stinker. And I mean, if you look at his shot chart, Jalen Williams, 3 for 16, 19%. Look at that. 3 made shots, no threes. 1 just at the hoop. It was probably a dunk. 1 at the left elbow. And 1 at the top of the key. Terrible. And that's just not going to get it done. It's kind of like the Thunder and the Nuggets switched places from last game. Jalen Williams has to come play. Now, I will say he has been pretty good for the entire playoffs. So one game, you can't just talk about trading him or anything like that, which some fair weather fans will do because they're idiots. Jalen Williams, man, you gotta really bring your shooting pants come Game 7 for sure if the Thunder really want to win. Like I said, SGA in foul trouble in the first half. He was cooking. My God, talk about efficiency. SGA 11 for 16, 68%. 8 for 11, 72%. And then 2 from 4, 50% from 3 for 32 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. I mean, the guy played amazing. Only 2 turnovers. He played really, really, really well, but those fouls, like if it wasn't for those fouls, SGA might have gave you a 40-piece tonight, an efficient 40-piece. I mean, luckily, he is never really a star that's been in foul trouble. I think they said that SGA only fouled out 1 time for the entire season, or maybe not even 1 time. So he doesn't usually have foul trouble. This game was an anomaly for SGA. So definitely, I don't bank on this happening again in Game 7. Yeah, that really was the telltale sign, the signature on this game beside Julian Strawther. And then, I mean, going into the fourth quarter, the Nuggets had the lead, and I mean, they never looked back. I mean, both teams basically shot the same in terms of efficiency, but of course, the Thunder put up more shots because they're younger, they have better legs. I mean, aside from Chet Holmgren. But the majority of the team, they have better legs, younger legs, so they put up more shots, but both teams ended up shooting 41%. However, and this is an interesting stat, the free throw disparity of this game was not close at all. And a lot of the games in this series, they've been pretty close. It doesn't matter if it's in Denver or if the game's in Oklahoma City. The free throws have been pretty even, but tonight it was a big difference, a big plus for the Denver Nuggets. I mean, the Thunder were 10 of 16 from the free throw line, while the Nuggets were 27 for 32 from the free throw line. And for anybody who want to complain about free throw merchant, this and that, you're an idiot. But SGA had 8 of 11 free throws tonight, and Jokic had 10 of 12. So shut up. But of course, I know anybody who's still trying to pull that free throw merchant argument, they don't really watch basketball. They just, watch TikTok highlights, etc., etc. But yeah, and Isaiah Hartenstein, he had a perfect game, 4 of 4. And I think that's amazing. I also just like Hartenstein. That's why I'm mentioning him here at the end. It's like Hartenstein if Frankenstein had a heart. Also, I saw him in a post-game interview in a Pele jacket. So I just think that's some fly shit. So I respect it. And I mean, I guess he spent a lot of time in New York. So, of course, the whole New York drip probably just stuck with him. He brought that into Oklahoma City. He probably wore the Pele jacket with some Timbs. Let me know if you got some Timbs. Anybody got a picture of that post-game interview? He might have had some Timbs on or something like that. But yeah, I like Hartenstein, and he got the floater working because in the last game it wasn't working at all. But he finally got that working, and he was perfect. So they're going to need that in Game 7. They're going to need SGA with this efficiency again in Game 7. And they're going to need him to stay out of foul trouble. And, of course, they're going to need Jalen Williams. Come on, brother. 3 of 16, that just ain't going to cut it. Not against this mountain of just incredible offensive efficiency in Nikola Jokic. Christian Brown, I mean, you definitely came to play today, man. Shout out to him. Jamal Murray, I mean, what can you say? This was his flu game, and he came to play. It's crazy, though, because in the first quarter, Jamal Murray had 11 points. And I'm like, yo, he's about to shoot them out the building. And then the second quarter, he had nothing, like 0. I think he might have had 1 basket, if that. So yeah, you could tell that his influenza, his sickness was really getting to him and probably zapped his energy. But in the second half, he definitely came around. But in the fourth quarter, he had no energy, no legs. He had 1 basket in the fourth quarter, and he might have taken like 2 shots. So the legs of the Denver Nuggets is still an issue. Again, even though they won this game, the legs of them is still an issue. So the Thunder again can exploit that in Game 7. And as long as they stay out of foul trouble, I think the Thunder can take this game and take the series. But of course, when you have Jokic on your team, anything is possible. He's incredible. So we just got to wait and see. But again, the 2 best words in sports, Game 7. And like I said before, I don't think the NBA Finals are going to be as good as this series. This is what we want. It doesn't matter if you're a Thunder fan, if you're a Nuggets fan, or if you're just a Raptor fan like me. I just love great basketball, and this is the MVP battle, and both teams are bringing it on defense and offense. They're strategizing. The coaches are making adjustments as the games go on. Love to see it, man. Love to see it. But let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think? You think the Nuggets are going to take Game 7? Or you think the Thunder are going to take it? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time.